Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crook Report. I am the Man They Call Crook, and today we are talking about Seth freaking Rollins. One popular question I've seen posed on the internet: is Seth Rollins going to betray the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes at Wrestlemania? The theory is that Seth Rollins could end up costing Cody Rhodes the tag team match at night 1 of WrestleMania 40, which leads us to Bloodline rules on night 2. Now, this is a valid theory. I can see the thought process here. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins kind of have to lose the tag team match. It only makes sense. The WWE have been pushing the Bloodline rules pretty heavily. We've seen it on Raw. We now know what to expect, kind of. It only makes sense for it to all culminate in the Bloodline rules at night 2 of WrestleMania. So how do we get there? What could happen is that we see a swerve from Seth Rollins and he betrays Cody Rhodes. Do I think that's gonna happen? No. And here's why. If Seth Rollins were to betray Cody Rhodes on night 1, it only would make sense for Cody Rhodes to get one back on Seth Rollins at night 2 in his match against Drew McIntyre. And I don't think we're going to see that because it kind of ruins the main event just a little bit if we see Cody Rhodes come out earlier in the night, because Cody Rhodes, in kayfabe, shouldn't just let Seth Rollins betray him when he's going to be there at night 2, and Seth Rollins has a much more important to him match during night 2. Seth Rollins wouldn't, in kayfabe, risk having his match against Drew McIntyre messed with. It also doesn't really make sense for Cody Rhodes to come out for that match because he's not involved at all. He hasn't been teased at all. He hasn't been there for Seth in the whole Drew McIntyre thing. The Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match is kind of completely separate from what Cody Rhodes is doing. And on top of that, CM Punk is going to be out there as the guest commentator. So that is a little world in and of itself. Cody Rhodes is completely removed from that match altogether. But if he's screwed over by Seth Rollins on night 1, why wouldn't Cody Rhodes in kayfabe come out and screw over Seth Rollins to get one back? That's the only way that can pan out. Otherwise, Cody Rhodes kind of looks like a bitch. So I don't think that Seth Rollins is going to intentionally cost them the match at night 1. What I do think could happen is that we see the Bloodline injure Seth Rollins. Maybe not necessarily badly, but just enough that we lead into night 2, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins is beat up, he's got an injury, and Drew McIntyre exploits that injury and defeats Seth Rollins. Why does this make more sense? Well, Seth Rollins got himself involved in the Cody Rhodes match only to be injured trying to do the right thing and help Cody Rhodes. Then on night 2, he loses his championship because of that injury. WrestleMania 40 would go down as Seth Rollins' worst WrestleMania of all time, losing on both nights and losing the championship. And what I think could happen is that Cody Rhodes goes on to the Bloodline Rules match. They have their match. Cody Rhodes comes out on top. Cody Rhodes is the big victor of WrestleMania 40, while Seth Rollins is kind of the weak link. He got beat twice. Everything went poorly for him. The Raw after WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes is celebrating, Seth Rollins comes out to congratulate him, and that is where we see the Seth Rollins turn. Seth Rollins can then blame Cody Rhodes for everything going wrong at WrestleMania. He now has a lot of ammo to say, hey, I put myself in this match to help you out. It cost me my arm, whatever, which then cost me my championship. I didn't have to be there. I didn't have to put myself in that match, but I saw you needed help and I put myself there. And what happened? I got injured, and it's all thanks to you, Cody Rhodes. I think this makes the most sense logically because CM Punk is still injured, Drew McIntyre has his own thing, The Rock is, according to reports, seems to be taking time off to film another movie soon after WrestleMania. Again, I don't know how true that is, but if Rock is leaving, then he's out of the picture. Roman Reigns, again, could be a work, but says that if he loses the championship to Cody Rhodes, he's done. He's out. He's leaving. And from reports that we saw from Paul Heyman, it seems like Roman Reigns has been looking for a way out for a while, but he had this monstrous run that he couldn't turn away from. Paul Heyman reported that Roman Reigns wanted to leave back in 2020. He was out. That was it. All done. But he came back for this bloodline run. There's also been rumors that maybe he wants to settle down, focus on his family. His leukemia is still being medicated, so that's kind of it's a shitty thing that's kind of hanging over his head. I can see why Roman Reigns might want to take a step back and perhaps call it quits. So if Cody Rhodes is going to finish his story at Wrestlemania with The Rock gone, Roman Reigns potentially gone, the bloodline shattered, we're gonna need a brand new story to keep us engaged. And what could that story be? Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Now think about how a Seth Rollins injury could play out at Wrestlemania. Something happens, ow my arm, Seth Rollins rolls to the outside, referee throws up the big X or something, maybe he even gets gurneyed to the back. So Seth Rollins is gone. Cody Rhodes in the center of the ring now looks up, he sees The Rock, he sees Roman Reigns. Now we have a handicap match against the American Nightmare. Can he do it, or will he face bloodline rules at night 2? Cody Rhodes fires up, throws a few shots at The Rock. Roman Reigns cuts him off. Referee pushes him back. Rock gets some stuff in. Roman Reigns gets some stuff in. Cody Rhodes can fire up, look like he might take it, get a couple of false finishes. No, he gets shot down once again. Rock and Roman are toying with him, beating the crap out of Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins comes back out. He's injured, arm in a sling maybe, looking beat up. Pushing away doctors. No, I have to help Cody Rhodes finish his story. I don't know exactly what the finish could be, but now Seth Rollins comes back out. He's injured. He gets pinned. Pinned at night 1 of Wrestlemania. He cost Cody Rhodes his chance to have a clean rules, no bloodline involved match at Wrestlemania night 2. Rolling into night 2, Seth Rollins is hurt, he's beat up, he's demoralized. He now has to defend his championship against Drew McIntyre, who is no slouch in and of himself. Now Seth Rollins loses his second match, Wrestlemania night 2. He can then look to Cody Rhodes like, where the hell were you? What a great villainous arc we now have for Seth Rollins. He actually has a point. He did everything he could to help Cody Rhodes. He was injured, came back anyway. Big babyface move. Crowd went crazy, but he lost. He tried his absolute hardest, but it didn't work out. He tried, but at least Cody Rhodes still has a chance to win the WWE Championship at night 2. It's not over for Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins then loses his championship, no Cody Rhodes in sight. When Seth Rollins cuts his promo on Cody Rhodes after turning heel, he can call Cody selfish, he can say it was all about you, all about finishing your story. Well, what about my story, Cody Rhodes? Mwah, beautiful. This allows WWE and Cody Rhodes to finish the story at Wrestlemania, which I absolutely think has to happen. I don't think Cody Rhodes can or should lose at Wrestlemania. I think last year was great. I think what they did was actually really, really good, especially now looking at where we are today with The Rock doing what he's doing, Roman Reigns doing what he's doing. This is perhaps the best build to Wrestlemania that we've seen in a long time. So last year, I can see why Cody Rhodes didn't finish his story, and I'm glad that he didn't. But this time, if he loses, he kind of looks like a chump. He even said this on a what did he say? On the Ariel Helwani show. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. This is just something that I saw. Cody Rhodes said that if he doesn't finish his story at WrestleMania, he kind of looks like a bitch. That's paraphrasing. It's something like that, though. And it's true, you know, if he loses to Roman Reigns twice, 2 years consecutively, how are we going to root for this guy? This guy just keeps losing. Why do we care? He's clearly not the better man. Roman Reigns would be the better man, and why should we give a shit about Cody Rhodes? Pardon my language. especially considering how much they've beaten the crap out of him leading into WrestleMania. And if they lose the tag team match, that means we would have seen The Rock beat the crap out of him. We would have seen The Rock and Roman Reigns beat the crap out of him. Then he loses the Night 1 WrestleMania match and loses the Night 2 match. Now you could say he might win the Night 1 match, and maybe, but that doesn't make any sense. We're gonna see Bloodline rules. It only makes sense for the story. They've been building it up so much, we can't just have a mano may the best man win match at Night 2. It has to be Bloodline rules so that shit can get crazy. But if he loses Night 2, why would we care about Cody Rhodes? He's not important now. He just loses. All he does is lose and cry. We can't have that. So Cody Rhodes has to win. And if he has no opponents post-WrestleMania, the only one that really makes sense is Seth frickin' Rollins. So could we see a turn from Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? Maybe, but I think it's better if he's costed the champion. I think it's better if WrestleMania 40 turns out to be Seth Rollins' villainous origin story. So those are my predictions for WrestleMania 40. I think Seth Rollins gets kayfabe injured in the tag team match on Night 1, which leads us into Seth Rollins losing his championship against Drew McIntyre because of his injury, and that brings us to Cody Rhodes winning at Night 2 of WrestleMania, finishing his story, finally. Big babyface pop, everybody leaves happy. WrestleMania 40, one of the greatest of all time. Next night on Raw, Seth Rollins comes out to help Cody Rhodes congratulate. Hooray for Cody Rhodes! Bam! Curb stomp. That's what's gonna happen. Mark my words. I am the man they call Crook, and we'll see you next time.